All right, fresh video of Vikram lander on the moon. Here's the image that comes in. Another instrument on board the rover confirms the presence of sulfur within that region through another unique technique. In fact, what sulfur really means this time, as per scientists, is that there could be traces of water ice. And that is why it's a big breakthrough that the Pragyan rover has managed to detect sulfur on the surface of the moon. In fact, the technique here, the alpha particle X-ray spectroscope, the APXS as it's called, has detected S as well as other minor elements. S is sulfur. The video shows an automated hinge mechanism rotating the 18 centimeter tall APXS, aligning the detector head to be approximately 5 centimeters in proximity to the lunar surface. PRL Ahmedabad has developed APXS with support from the PRL Ahmedabad. URSC Bengaluru has developed and deployed that mechanism, and this is a video that's been released by ISRO to sort of try and break down what it means and how exactly have they managed to find sulfur on the moon. This is a fresh video of Pragyan rover on the moon. Another instrument on board the rover confirms the presence of sulfur. In fact, the rover has 6 payloads, and you have different mechanisms through which they try and drill into the surface of the moon and detect the soil composition, try and understand the surface, what exactly is found on the surface of the moon. They found craters, of course. They found sulfur. They've gone on to find a lot more in terms of iron, and a few more minerals that the rover has already managed to find. But why sulfur is the most important is because it indicates that there could be water ice on the surface of the moon. And water ice is basically nothing but a source of oxygen. This inevitably shows signs of life, that life can prevail on the surface of the moon. It's, of course, a huge moment for ISRO and India, as we see that the rover, another mechanism of the rover now, has managed to find sulfur on the moon's surface. So like I mentioned, it is basically using another instrument on board that rover that confirms sulfur, and that instrument is called the alpha particle X-ray spectroscope. It's called the APXS. That has detected sulfur. This instrument too has detected sulfur, which again reiterates ISRO's stand here that sulfur is indeed present on the moon's surface, and sulfur means there could be water ice. In fact, this very rover and its mechanism has also managed to detect aluminium, calcium, iron, and more. So in every sense, this is a breakthrough in space exploration. India really leading that field, or leading this area of moon exploration, space exploration. The rover now detecting sulfur, another instrument of the rover detecting sulfur means that it almost confirms the rover's first laser-induced breakdown spectroscope that had earlier detected sulfur. Now it is the alpha particle X-ray spectroscope, the APXS, that's also detected sulfur on the surface of the moon. This is a new, fresh video that has been released by ISRO itself, and it really speaks of a lot on how advanced this Chandrayaan-3 mission has been. And India has been quite focused around trying to understand the composition of the soil on the moon's surface, and in every way, how does it really affect space atmosphere. This also, in a larger sense, gives an understanding on the weather conditions and seismic activity that could inevitably impact Earth. So the rover here and the images showing yet again a second instrument of that rover, Pragyan, also detecting sulfur, confirming the first study that was done initially through another instrument that was called the laser-induced breakdown spectroscope that had earlier detected sulfur. Now you have another instrument called the alpha particle X-ray spectroscope that's also detected sulfur on the moon. Pramod joining us on the phone line. Pramod has been really tracking ISRO's movements and the way they're trying to maneuver this rover right from that center in Bengaluru. Pramod, this video that's come out of ISRO shows another instrument that's also detected sulfur on the moon. I've broken it down in as many ways, but tell us, how important is this, specifically sulfur, to be found on the moon's surface?
Nabila, what are these particular sensors? The first one called as the lip sensor, the present one called as APX sensor, which also can be called as alpha particle X-ray spectroscope, are sensors which use light and X-ray in particular to identify and detect an element and make sure that there is no wrong kind of readings being done. That's the reason these are very important. And the first element that has been detected by unambiguously detected by these sensors are sulfur. However, this rover has also gone ahead. It has detected calcium, titanium, chromium, and also oxygen. And the most important element, in fact, we spoke to one of the professors who was part of LIBS yesterday from Madras, IIT Madras. He said that hydrogen also is something that they are really waiting to discover, because that will actually prove the presence of water over there. So each and every way they are trying to find each element and calibrate and find, using multiple sensors, they are trying to find it out so that the actual terrain, the surface, what the moon is made of, and the components will be clearly catalogued for future scientific experiments.
Right, Pramod, this is a breakthrough undoubtedly for scientists, not just in India, not just in ISRO. One should know that this is material and fodder for science and technology all over the world. It's something that's been very keenly observed by scientists in every part of the globe who's been trying to understand the nuances of space, and Chandrayaan 3's mission has really been a leader in that.